The soft hum of the hospital lights blended with the faint echo of a piano drifting through the children's ward. The tune wasn't perfect, but it carried something raw and beautiful, something that made even the nurses pause in the hallway to listen. Sitting at the piano was Jack Miller, a single dad and war veteran whose hands, once used to hold weapons, now danced gently across black and white keys. Beside him sat Lily, a 9-year-old blind girl with golden hair and a smile that could light up the dullest corner of the hospital. Her fingers hovered over the keys, feeling for the rhythm through the air. "Can you hear the sunshine, Mr. Jack?" she asked softly, tilting her head toward the sound. Jack chuckled, glancing down at her. "Yeah, sweetheart. I think it sounds a lot like your laughter." She laughed, her small shoulders shaking. That laugh, it was the only thing that could pull Jack out of the darkness that had followed him home from the war. Every Thursday afternoon, he came to the children's ward to play for the kids, but Lily had become his favorite. She didn't just listen, she felt the music. She could tell when he was sad, when he was smiling, even when he was trying to hide something behind the melody. "Let's play the song about the stars," she said suddenly. Jack nodded. "You mean, Claire de Lune?" "Sure." He started slow, the notes delicate and tender, like whispers between two souls who understood pain. Lily placed her hands over his, feeling the vibration through his skin. She swayed slightly as the music filled the room, her lips parting as if to taste the sound. For a moment, it didn't feel like a hospital. It felt like somewhere far away, somewhere untouched by pain, war, or loss. When the final note faded, Lily whispered, "I wish my daddy could hear me play like this." Jack froze. The words hit him harder than he expected. He turned to look at her, his voice low and careful. "I bet he's proud of you, wherever he is." Lily tilted her head, her unseeing eyes searching his face. "You sound like you miss someone too." He swallowed hard, his throat tightening. "Yeah, kiddo. I miss someone every day." There was a quiet moment between them, the kind that didn't need words. Just shared silence, soft and understanding. Then Lily reached out and touched his arm. "You make the piano sound like feelings, Mr. Jack. My mom says only people who've been really sad can play like that." Jack smiled faintly, blinking away the wetness in his eyes. "Your mom's a smart woman." Just then, the sound of the door creaking open broke the moment. Footsteps, heavy, measured, and steady, echoed across the room. Jack glanced up, his instincts sharp from years of service. The man who entered wore a uniform, his chest heavy with medals. A 4-star general. The air changed instantly. Nurses stood straighter, and even Jack's heartbeat quickened. He had no idea that what was about to happen would change both their lives forever. The tall man in uniform stood frozen at the doorway, his polished boots reflecting the pale hospital light. His presence filled the room, and yet, there was a strange stillness in his eyes, the kind that comes when someone sees a ghost. Jack instinctively stood from the piano bench, his old training kicking in. He straightened his back, recognizing the rank on the man's shoulder. A 4-star general, the kind of man Jack had only ever seen from a distance during his years in service. "Sir," Jack said quietly, giving a small nod out of respect. But the general didn't respond. His gaze wasn't on Jack. It was locked on Lily, who was still sitting at the piano, her small hands feeling the last notes that lingered in the air. For a long, heavy moment, the general couldn't move. His lips parted, trembling, as though he was afraid to speak. "Lily," he whispered, his voice cracking. The little girl's head snapped up, her expression puzzled. She tilted her face toward the sound, her brow furrowing. "That voice," she breathed, her voice suddenly small, trembling with hope and disbelief. "Daddy." Jack froze. His heart skipped. He looked from Lily to the man in the uniform, his mind struggling to connect what he was seeing. The general took a hesitant step forward, then another, his composure breaking with each movement. His hands that had likely signed orders and led thousands, were now shaking uncontrollably. "It's me, sweetheart," the general said, kneeling down before her. His voice was thick with emotion. "It's Daddy. I'm home." The piano bench scraped the floor as Lily jumped up, her little arms reaching out blindly. She stumbled forward, and the general caught her before she fell, wrapping her in his arms like he'd never let go again. The room went silent except for the sound of his quiet, broken sobs. Jack turned away, swallowing the lump in his throat. He had seen soldiers cry before, but never like this, never a man so powerful undone by the simple act of holding his child. Nurses peeked from the doorway, their hands pressed to their mouths, unsure if they should speak or just let the moment breathe. After what felt like an eternity, the general looked up at Jack. His face was wet, his voice rough. "You've been teaching her?" "Yes, sir," Jack said, his tone gentle. "She's got a gift. She feels the music like no one I've ever seen." The general nodded slowly, still holding Lily close. "When her mother passed, I had to leave for duty. I told myself it was for the country, for honor. But, I missed her whole world." Jack understood too well. "Sometimes, sir," he said softly, "we fight the wrong battles." The general looked at him with a mixture of gratitude and guilt. "You gave my daughter something I couldn't: comfort, hope, music." Jack shook his head. "She gave me more, sir. She made me remember what peace sounds like." Lily smiled, still holding her father's hand. "Then play together," she whispered. So Jack sat down again, and the general joined him. Their hands moved across the keys, one a veteran, one a father, guided by a little blind girl who saw more than either of them ever could. The melody rose again, not just as music, but as healing, for all three of them.